Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes as we head into the Easter weekend here with Easter Sunday looming. And we've got a major storm that is going to be impacting a large portion of the United States. And today's impact will be across the northern Rockies and on up into the Central Plains, and that's where we have winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories up. We also have various areas dealing with wind issues, and we also have winter storm watches that are running from northwestern Iowa, southern Minnesota, north and east through much of northern Wisconsin, and we're probably going to see this area expanded a bit as we move through time. The biggest impact from this, however, I think is going to be in the form of severe weather, particularly on Sunday. The Storm Prediction Center for today showing this expanding area of severe weather for Texas into Oklahoma and on up into Kansas and east into Arkansas and Mississippi. You go from a marginal risk on the fringes to an enhanced risk over much of central Texas. And Sunday, Easter Sunday, is going to be a big day for severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center has been telegraphing this for days and has now, from yesterday, had a moderate risk in Louisiana, much of Mississippi into Alabama, with enhanced risk expanding on either side further east and west. And you see how far the slight risk goes. This is a very, very large area of severe weather risk. The northern fringe of that marginal risk makes it up into Delaware and southern Pennsylvania on westward. And that is going to be for probably close to Monday morning when this storm system is heading up toward the Great Lakes. The risk for tornadoes high in that moderate risk area. We're talking about a 15% chance for tornadoes. That is a high number. Okay, I know the number itself sounds low, but it really isn't. That is a high number, and even the 5% probability of a tornadoes extends into Georgia and South Carolina, and 5% is again, that sounds like a low number, but it does convey the possibility that there could be some isolated to scattered tornadoes that develop with this weather system. With respect to hail, we're looking at a greater than 30% probability of hail in a rather large area, very extensive here, and this is as far as the risk is concerned. Now, the next day is for Monday, and this is where we might see some impact up to close to into parts of our area that we cover. Slight risk up and down the mid-Atlantic and southeast coast. We've got the marginal risk now being pushed up into central New Jersey. I think there's a chance that we could see SPC push this risk area even further north when we get to Monday. It's going to really depend on how far north the warm air gets, and that will determine how far north the risk area gets. Meanwhile, with respect to snow, for you snow lovers, you can see the clobbering that's going to happen in parts of the western Great Lakes, particularly in the northern Wisconsin. We're talking about a fairly large area of 8 to 12, and some areas as much as a foot or more, and that heavy snow area going back west across the Central Plains and into the northern Rockies, down even into Colorado, where Denver's forecast to get about 4 or 5 inches, and we're looking at mainly 3 to 6, 4 to 8, with some of the mountaintops here getting as much as a foot or more. So this is a very potent late season storm that we're dealing with. We should emphasize that as far as today is concerned, our weather here is very good. The winds are still kind of gusty during the morning hours. They should ease as we go through the day. There's not a whole lot of cloud cover showing up on the satellite. There are a few patches here and there, but you can already begin to see some of the moisture, the tropical moisture that is surging into the Gulf of Mexico. And take a look down on the lower left. That rotation has been this upper low that has been sitting off the coast of Southern California and pounding that area with heavy rains and mountain snows all week long. Well, that's finally getting ejected eastward. That is going to be the system that creates the severe weather. And I've just put up this upper air view here for Sunday afternoon. The shortwave, when you look at anytime you see a V shape like this on a weather map, it's usually a sign of trouble. It's telling you that you've got contrasting air masses ahead of it. Very warm tropical air surging up into the Gulf states. There's colder air coming in behind it, and of course you've got the low that is driving all this, that is heading up toward the Great Lakes. And of course all this moisture is going to be heading up to the northeast. The moisture is not shown on this map. Where you see the brown streaks, those are wind gusts at the 10,000 foot level, and they're often a very good indicator of the potential for severe weather. We're talking about winds at that level at 70 and even some 80 knot winds being indicated here in some places. And you see those curls. So all of this probably represents thunderstorms and severe weather. And there we have one solid line here when you see it on the shortwave like this. I mean, that is really, that's the atmosphere expressing basically an extreme headache that has to be relieved. So let's very quickly just take you through what to expect for the weekend. And I'm going to use the wider map view here so that the folks that might be watching from out west will see what's going on. And let's just back this up. We have a low that is developing in eastern Colorado. You see that expanding area of snow. You start to also see some showers and thunderstorms breaking out today and tonight across Texas. Now here's Sunday's view with a low in Oklahoma, the snow that runs up through the Central Plains into the Western Lakes, and then of course all the the severe weather here. We're going to be dry pretty much, no rain to worry about right through the daytime Easter Sunday. But then as we get into Sunday night, probably around the late evening hours in southern Pennsylvania down into Maryland and Virginia, and in the early morning hours after midnight from New York City north and east, you've got this wrapped up low in southern Illinois that intensifies as it moves up into the Great Lakes. Look at how tight the gradient is. All the isobars there really packed very close together. Wind is going to be a big issue along the East Coast, particularly up as you head into southern New England toward New York City, New Jersey, and eastern Pennsylvania come Monday, with strong south to southwest winds. The weather front will be coming through here probably sometime early Monday afternoon, and then it turns wind. It stays windy. The winds shift to the west, and we start to dry out, and weather conditions improve. This is going to be a rather solid rainmaker. Also, we should point that out. Rain is going to be an issue here. We're talking, I think, for some areas there could be isolated rainfall amounts on the order of 2 or more inches. Most of the area in the east, from northern Virginia to southern New England, is going to wind up being in a band of about an inch to an inch and a half, maybe 2 inches. This might be a little bit underdone, and you see some bigger rainfall amounts as you go down to the south. And of course, thunderstorms are going to be driving this. So if we do get some thunderstorm activity in the mix, that could add to the rainfall amount. So enjoy your Saturday. This is obviously the better of the 2 weekend days. Sunday, with clouds coming in, it won't be picture perfect, obviously, but for the most part, it will not be raining until Sunday evening or Sunday night, and then we're in for a rough ride later Sunday night into Monday afternoon with this developing storm. And if you live across the southern states, the Gulf states, into the southeast coast of the United States, please pay very close attention to the weather on Sunday. If you're in Texas, you pay attention today. If you're in the Southern Plains, you pay attention today. But if you're anywhere from Louisiana on eastward to the southeast coast of the U.S., you want to start paying very close attention to the weather on Sunday, because this could be a very serious, widespread severe weather outbreak that we are about to see for Easter Sunday. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you later.